Hey everyone, welcome back to the Realm. We are here for a Weird News Day. I'm Gina.
I'm Rich.
I'm Rob.
And we are bringing you the only news that you need to know. This is the need to know things going on in the world. Could be in the past, can't be in the future yet. We'll let you know if we invent that. But we're going to bring you news that's weird. It's not always paranormal, but it is definitely weird. I feel like, so let me just explain. If you haven't listened to it before, we come together, we blind react to each other's news story. Nobody knows what the other person has until we come here to tell our news. So I feel like today, guys, that we might have identical stories because there was something really blowing up in the news recently. So I have some backup stories. So we'll see who goes first. We'll see who goes first to see who gets to do it. Don't say what I'm thinking because I think that we all have the same. Okay, I'm going to share my screen so that our wheel of fortune here, our wheel of, I can't say that, probably that's trademarked, but our wheel of destiny, Brian calls it, will decide for us who is going to go first. So, all right, can you guys see the wheel of death?
No.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
There was a weird delay.
It's lagging, yes. I think that Kez is video gaming right now, so I'm pretty sure that that's the problem. We switched not that anybody cares, but we switched internet providers, and so Grandpa Kez decides to go with we don't need that much bandwidth, and I'm like, yep, we probably do. But old Grandpa Joe there decides we gotta go the cheaper route, and it's not working. We need to
if you're gonna do gaming, you want to have
yeah. I want to be able to do this, and they can game. Anyway, I digress. Here we go. Let's see who's gonna go first. Spin, spin, spin. Who's gonna go?
Ready right now.
Rob, you get to go first.
You knew that before it even stopped spinning on my screen. That was weird. I feel like
it's that lag. I should have
good, because then that means if my story is the story that's blowing up in the news, because this is news to me. I go through a couple different things to look for weird, for paranormal, for all kinds of different things. So I'm hoping that I foil all your stories because
this
mine
on mainstream news. So
this is kind of mainstream news, and I say that because I found it on some mainstream sites. I found it on some independent sites that won't stop putting ads up. Mm-hmm. But does it have anything to do with Colombia?
No. Ooh.
All right. So I do have something paranormal. Buga, Colombia, May 8th. There's a couple videos of this small sphere flying over the city.
Oh.
The sphere supposedly lands. There's no video of it landing. There's no video saying, there's nothing that really says who found it, but it is on, I've seen it on Fox. I've seen it on NBC, and a bunch of random unknown and some clickbait sites. So It is out there. It is believed to be alien of origin. So there's video of the sphere flying through the air. There's nothing that shows it landing, nothing that shows people picking it up. But it does a lot of reports of the scientists who are working on it, who have done x-rays and find different densities in it. They do not find a weld for the seam, a seam or anything, but through the x-ray, they have been able to see where the seam is. It does have some strange markings on the top of it, and it didn't seem to match any type of Mesopotamian or any other type of hieroglyphics. They did use AI to assist deciphering the design. The team interpreted the message to read origin of birth through union and energy in the cycle of transformation, meeting point of unity, expansion, and consciousness, individual consciousness.
Oh my
The
god.
scientists say we interpret it as a message to humanity, encouraging a collective shift in consciousness to help Mother Earth, especially considering the current issues with pollution, environment decline, the researchers said, using AI to decipher it is just kind of weird. I see that like even where I work, the managers are using like AI to try and figure out solutions that I don't even know why AI would know about the
Mhm.
problem.
Right.
So how AI came up with that was interesting. The designs on it are interesting. It is a small sphere. It's probably not even a foot in diameter, and they're still doing tests on it. It is not in the hands of the U.S. So this is completely Colombia and scientists in South America who are working on it.
Huh.
Um, And also, the object that was recovered shortly after it landed, like I said, there's not any real, I don't know, it doesn't show it land. Since been analyzed by scientists and discovered it features 3 layers of metal like material and 18 microspheres surrounding a central nucleus they're calling a chip. It actually looks in the design like there's a chip in the center of it, but it's just part of the design. Some people call it an elaborate art project. Um, Other people are calling it a great scientific discovery and the research as to what's going on. There are video and pictures of the x-rays that they took, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to post those on our Facebook page and in the show notes. What article are you getting this from? Just so we cite it, we can just say it out loud.
Okay, so I've looked at dailymail.com.
Okay.
Easy, Rob, easy. I looked on Yahoo.
Okay.
I seen it. I looked on Fox News bit about it, where it also talks to an American um, scientist who is part of the Galileo project, which is trying to get as scientists, or I'm sorry, as the government is slowly releasing information about UFOs and things that
Mhm.
they don't understand. She is part of the group, the Galileo group, which is trying to like get the jump start on righteous information, as she puts it, about UFOs.
So they don't think this is a drone?
Well, they have it in their hand, so I mean, I don't know how a like to the best of my knowledge, as far as drones go, you still need a propulsion system.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is just a sphere. It's a solid
Huh.
metal sphere, and
Hmm.
Be
apparently it
really interested to
weighs
see.
the orientation that they put it on in a scale. It'll weigh different as well.
Oh, that's really weird. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna have to read more about this. You've piqued my
Wonder
interest.
if somehow
I
it's
knew it
got
would you because of the UFOs.
Yeah.
And that
maybe there's
was interesting because somehow I didn't see anything about it. And there are some YouTube UFO channels I watch, and I haven't seen anything about it.
What were you saying, Rich?
so maybe there's magnets involved
Yeah.
with propulsion on it.
Right, like UFOs use.
Hmm.
I know
Good
it's not
story.
when we don't get like weird. If you don't do like a weird article, it's not nearly as entertaining as it is. When you get the
Okay.
everybody makes jokes and shit, and then I bring the serious stuff. Everybody's like, hmm.
No, I love the series stuff because I'm like, now I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole because I didn't see anything about this.
Right,
And
right. Neither have
so
I. I just did
so
like I do a couple different searches and pertaining to certain subjects, and it came up, and I'm like, I have not heard about this.
sometimes I find that weird shit, like, I'll type in paranormal news just because 'cause I'll type that in every once in a while, and, like, I'll get these weird the weird stories that we had in the past about the women that are in relationships with ghosts, and one was cheating on her, and
Yeah, really old stories too, and I try and do this week, and then It'll be articles on why people believe in the paranormal. Because we're
So
nuts.
that was a great story, though, Rob. That was a good find. I'm jealous, actually. So I
Yeah, it
can't
was
wait to
good.
read. I'm going to be reading more about it as soon as we're done recording tonight. Okay, so it is Rich and I left. So let's go back to my screen here and let's see who goes next. Rich, do you think we have the same story?
Nope.
Not a chance.
Is yours about food?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, who is it? It's Rich.
Woo!
I'm
Shocker.
Rich, bitch.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
You
today,
wish.
well,
No,
if you guys don't know, maybe some of our listeners know, today, Memorial Day is a big day for racing. You got the Monaco Grand Prix, you got the Indy 500, and you got the Coke 600 tonight.
I did see an article about the Weiner 500 where it had all the Oscar Mayer Weiner trucks racing down the Indianapolis track.
On May 23rd,
Oh,
there
I told the
was
story.
the Wienermobiles put on the Weenie 500 is called at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Weenie 500.
Should I cut that out?
No, not at
That was
all.
good. That was good. Well, with my lead in about food, then hot dog, Wienermobile. Talk about hot dogs, folks. Article reads: Give the Borg Warner Trophy to the Wienermobile, affectionately known as Slaw Dog, which was Wienermobile number 3.
Slaw dog.
In a down-to-the-wire race among the 6 iconic Wienermobiles, there are 6 total Wienermobiles that have been around since 1936 for different promotional events around the country. This is the first time they've had all 6 in the exact same location. So what do they want to? So what do they do? Like any American wants to do? Let's race those sons of bitches now.
Let's race them.
Oh, I thought maybe if it was Wienermobiles, they were first time together. No,
I was just thinking.
No, they were not touching.
they didn't do that. They didn't all get into a circle.
Sword fight.
No, that would be a different race. That wouldn't be the Weenie 500. But that'd be a different race. Anyway, Slaw Dog number 3 Wienermobile was supposedly, I guess, is a Chicago dog. So they're saying that the Chicago dog is the one that won. So I guess Slaw Dog is the
winner.
I know I've heard of a Chicago style hot dog. I guess Slaw Dog. I wasn't sure of that. I think I've seen it before. In
Did they have
that's a different story. We won't say where I saw it at, but
wait. Now we might want to know. But did they say the names of all of them?
No, they don't have the names of all of them.
Oh.
They do just say with the numbers were 1 through 6, 6 of them. At one point in the race, number 1. Let me see if it actually had if it had a name. Nah, see the other ones didn't have any names on them. Wienermobile number 4 was leading the field out of turn 2, and that's all when all of a sudden smoke started pouring out of the rear of the Wienermobile. And the quote is, "That dog was cooked." They got a whole bunch of one-liners in this one. I'm telling you, folks.
Oh my God!
That dog was cooked. I saw a video of it. Must have been yesterday. Yeah, it must have been yesterday on the news somewhere where they were showing that, and they were showing that one Wienermobile going down there and just smoke pouring out of the thing, and they're just laughing. Oh my God, he burned her up. It's cooked hot dog. That is how Wienermobile number 1 assumed the lead in front of nearly 80,000 fans.
Dang.
Yes, 80,000 fans who were already there watching final practice for the Indy 500. So they kind of squeezed it in. If no one's ever been down to the Indy 500, it's kind of like party festival type atmosphere where the whole weekend or a whole week leading up, they're doing stuff all the time. There's concerts, whatever.
So they had to squeeze those wieners in?
Yeah, I don't know how they squeezed
They had to pack them in.
Was it a close race? They have to watch to see whose tip made it over the line first?
No, but
that
would have made for a better story.
It was an obvious. I would have loved the one-liners on that one.
Yeah.
I do have to say, I just recently went to a music festival in the middle of Daytona Speedway.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not know, I don't know why I didn't, I guess it just didn't register with me,
That there's a lake in
how
there.
much of a slope
Oh, yeah.
that the track is. I mean, and they're going, how fast are they going? What, 210?
200.
Okay.
200. They
200
got
miles an hour around
bike on.
there. And they're basically on their
Yep.
side.
Yep.
I mean,
They
it's
never
a
lift.
very steep track.
Mm-hmm. That one,
And
Talladega, in Atlanta are probably the steepest banking. But
I
like
couldn't believe it. I was like,
this week, like at Charlotte, where they're racing for NASCAR,
mhm.
it's more your traditional mile and a half oval. It's banked, but not nearly as banked, so you don't see the same speeds. In comparison, Indianapolis, that's pretty much flat. It's pretty much a
Oh,
flat
okay.
track, so there's not a lot of banking involved. I mean, there's very minimal in the corners, but it's pretty
So it's
flat.
not like that at every racetrack.
No,
Okay.
they're all different. That's what makes them each track
Oh.
unique. The super speedways, like I said, Daytona, Talladega, and now Atlanta, they have banked like that. So those guys are ripping around there. They don't even lift off the throttle pedal. Foot to the floor, and
I could imagine, because I was looking at it, because we were staying in the camping that I'm not like throwing around names. We were in VIP camping. I can't afford that, but we got a VIP camping spot from somebody gifting it to us. And we we were just right there where I think we were at turn 4. So I don't know what turn we were at, but I could not believe that just how it was banked. And then it's like record heat in Daytona that week. So I think the highest recorded temperature at the airport, which across the street, was like 96 or 97 degrees. And then you're inside that bowl with like the black pavement all the way around you, just throwing the heat on you as well. It was easily over 100 degrees in there. It was awful. Anyway,
right there on the ocean. Yeah, that's
it was
pretty hot
bad.
for being right there, right by the water.
Yeah, it was not pleasant. So I did not see some of the bands I wanted to see because I could not handle the heat. So there are people passing out left and right. I'm like, I did try to go for Social Distortion, but it was
Oh.
just too hot. But anyway, I have 2 stories and I can't decide between the 2.
Give them
Both
each a number. Give them each a number.
okay. They're both okay. One has to do with horror movie, and that'll be number 2, and one has to do with like a demonic possession, which is
Oh,
number
that's a
1.
tough one.
Number one.
Number 1.
I was going to say 2, but I'll go with 1. Or you could put a 1 and a 2 on the Wheel of Destiny.
Oh,
That's true.
Do
Or
it.
I can tell it really quickly and see if we have time for both of them. Let's try
I
it.
think since Wienermobile number 1, I think won the race. You should just go with
Number 1. Okay, we'll do that. If you
No.
ain't first, you're last.
Why don't you do them
Okay.
both? Just go ahead and do them both. There's only 3 of us here.
Go.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it fast. We keep it quick.
Let's do it
Okay.
both.
All right, everybody. So first one is from the Independent from May 25th of this year, 11:01. It was written by Inga Parkle in New York. Officials confirm the haunted Annabelle doll's whereabouts after missing rumors go viral. So, Annabelle, the haunted, demonic possessed doll possessed by that was in the possession of Ed and Lorraine Warren, which is now part of their estate since they're both passed. There is a museum that they have. Well, apparently Annabelle went on a tour of the United States here recently.
All by herself?
No, of course,
That's the scary part.
That was part of the problem, is that amongst this, during this tour time I know Ryan Buell who was on Paranormal State. He was part of this tour, and I can't remember who was touring with it all. I'm sure it says in this thing, but what happened is that I'll tell you really quickly, is that she was rumored to be missing. So it was all over TikTok. All these people are saying they can't find the Annabelle doll. She's missing. And at the same time that Annabelle's visiting in Louisiana is when that plantation catches on fire. It was like a giant spa plantation.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
So the plantation caught on fire, and everybody's like, Annabelle did it. And so, of course, there's jokes about where she could go next. We won't talk about that, but they were just saying, like, hey, Annabelle did this, and people were cheering the fact that this place kind of burnt down. But as the story goes, is that people thought that she was missing. So the museum officials have spoken out about the real life Annabelle doll's whereabouts amid rumors that she's gone missing. The demonically possessed Raggedy Ann doll, which has become a classic fixture in horror genre, is rumored to have escaped her casing as she traveled around the country on the Devil's on the Run tour. That's what it's called, Devil's on the Run tour, that was hosted by the New England Society for Psychic Research. In early May, the doll, typically housed at the Warren's Occult Museum, made a tour stop in New Orleans. Unfounded conjectures that she somehow had gone missing while in Louisiana began to circulate online after some visitors claimed they didn't see the doll while it was on the tour. Meanwhile, the recent fire of the nearby Nottoway plantation turned Nottoway Resort intensified speculation there was somehow a connection between Annabelle's disappearance and the blaze. So the lead investigator for Nesper and debunked theories that the doll had gone missing. They went to TikTok, told everybody, hey, look, she's here. She didn't go anywhere. She's not going anywhere else. Her tour is done. And that's kind of it. But the real life Annabelle was on tour, and they blamed her for some things going on. So I will make sure that I put the show notes in there, because it was talking about other rumors. There's been other rumors that she's gone missing at other times, where the family had to, I think back in 2020, the family had to come on, on the news and be like, look, she didn't escape. She's still here, and show pictures or proof. But we should do an episode on like haunted objects, like, the haunted demonic dolls and stuff that are in some of these museums. I know what to get you for Christmas. Okay, do you guys want to hear it? This is a really quick one. Do you mind if I just do my second one?
Yeah,
okay. From the Daily Mail. Okay, do you guys know the movie's Final Destination? Obviously, you know that series.
I know what you're going to talk about.
Yes. So the new Final Destination. So for those of you who don't know, Final Destination is just a series of movies that have been out. When was the first one, Rob? Do you know?
No, I don't. I do not know. I watched the first one. That was pretty much enough. But I know what your story is going to be.
Okay. Yeah. So Final Destination has been out for years, and it's basically how people meet their like untimely death in these really like horrific ways.
Don't they escape death.
Yeah,
but you can't. 2000. First Final Destination was 2000.
Yep.
Yeah, so they've been around 25 years. So this is supposed to be the latest entry into the popular horror franchise. The story from the Daily Mail says, by Adri Torres, published on May 22nd of this year. So during a screening of the new Final Destination flick, Bloodlines, in La Plata, Argentina, the ceiling collapsed from above, nearly killing the audience members in the frightening scene echoing the film itself. Could you imagine going to see? Okay, so for those of you, if you've seen the movie, if you know, there's like logs or something on the back of a truck and you're following behind it. You don't want to be following behind it. You watch somebody.
Because we always say that's some Final Destination shit going on.
Exactly. Exactly. So this lady wasn't even planning on going to the movie. The story goes on to say she's just walking down the street, she's doing shopping. It was her birthday, and whoever she was with, she's like, oh, they ran across the cinema. It's like, let's go, So they were in there, and yeah, that last minute decision on her birthday was almost her death day. So, yeah. So two things in the horror world were big in the horror. I can't even say it. Horror. I can't. Never mind. I'm not even gonna try to talk anymore. Anyway, they were in the news, and that's our news. So there you have it. Just to tie it up, she had like a knee injury, minor injury. She was taken to the hospital as precaution. Nobody else was seriously hurt. Nobody died, but I mean, could you imagine being in the middle of that movie and have this? She's like, at first she thought it was just like the intensity of the movie, because she felt like little things falling, and then all of a sudden, bam, giant piece of the ceiling falls in her lap.
So it's just like here at my house.
You had some Final Destination shit happen with this story.
Right, because I'm like, What if somebody was in the kitchen?
Rich, yeah, I want to know, where were you guys when this log came through your
I was
building?
driving. I was driving in it because
You
I
were
was out.
driving in a tornado?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
He
of
was
man.
chasing it. He has another podcast he does.
okay. I went. Yeah, I had to take Boone to puppy class because it's every Thursday night. So I took him to puppy class, and before I left, I told Jake. I said, I was talking to Boone or whatever. I said, let's go. You know, it's gonna storm later. And Jake's like, it ain't gonna storm. I was watching the news. It's going this direction. So I'm just telling you what the weather said, that it's gonna get bad. Whatever. So I go to the puppy class, you know, and you can start hearing the thunder and all this shit, and you know, I'm thinking, fuck, it's getting pretty loud out there. It's probably gonna be raining pretty hard. I went to leave. It really wasn't raining. So I'm driving down on whatever that is, 6 Mile, going down 32, turn on off of Douglas on the 4 mile. I'm driving all the way down to Wind Point, and it's not doing anything. It's like barely raining. It's like nothing. I'm like, I can see it looks really dark ahead of me and to the south, but I'm not over there. So I'm like, now what am I? You know, I'm driving. I turned that corner by the lighthouse, and I shit you not, it was black. I could not see. It was the car was shaking. I didn't know what to do.
Um,
I stopped in the middle of the road because I couldn't see, and then I
and
was
you're
like,
right
shit,
next to the lake. You're lucky your car didn't get lifted up
yeah.
and thrown
I
into
said,
Lake
shit,
Michigan.
I can't stop. I better keep going. So I'm going, and I'm trying to see, and there's shit in the road. So I'm going around everything. I get home. I don't know that there's anything wrong at home. Okay. I know my phone was ringing, but I can't answer the phone when I'm trying to drive because I'm like,
Right.
so I pull in the driveway and I'm hitting the button for the garage door. Motherfucking garage door don't go up. I'm like, fuck, power's out. Shit. So I quick get in there and I got the dog in my hand. Keep in mind, I got Boone with me. He's in the car through all of this.
Oh my God.
So I'm waiting because it's raining. It's raining now. It was raining fucking really hard. I get out, I run into the house. It's pitch black. I hear Jake yelling from the basement that he doesn't know what's going on. What, you know, power went out. Then you heard a big crash or whatever. And as I'm going through the kitchen, there's this fucking tree through my ceiling, and there's water everywhere.
Oh no. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was some Final Destination looking shit whenever you sent
I'll
those
tell you
pictures.
what, we got it. We got some shit. We got shit that's gonna got to get fixed, but we didn't get it as bad as some of the people out in this neighborhood. My neighbor's house really fucked up. So he had 2 trees fall on his house, whole
Well,
trees.
they had
So
in the county just northwest of us, they had 4 tornadoes down on the ground, like in this line at
yeah,
during that storm that
well,
had brought in. I couldn't believe
you
it.
know, after it slowed down, you know, I went outside and I started going to everybody, the neighbors, make sure everybody's okay,
Mhm.
whatever, you know. And then the fire trucks are coming, so we go out, we walk down to the corner to check on people around the corner, and they stop at a house there because woman thinks that she's got a gas leak in her house now because
Oh,
her
yeah.
generator isn't turning on and the little meter she has is going crazy. So the fire department's there and the police are there or whatever. And the one neighbor's talking to the cop and stuff and say, "Oh, must have been a tornado." And he says, "No, they're saying it was just sheer winds, just sheer wind." Now I can get on board with what a sheer wind. I don't know what it is, but that to me sounds like everything would be one direction.
Yeah.
I got in a matter of a block, you got trees laying every direct.
All the
They're all
yeah.
different directions. I don't know how that could be a sheer wind unless sheer wind actually has some type of rotation to it as well. I don't know. So I'm not an expert. I didn't look it up. I'm just talking right now because I noticed that. I'm like, if that's sheer wind, I'm thinking just one
I
wave will
heard
move,
there was rotation
you know.
over Wind Point. I heard there
So
was rotation.
I don't
So,
I don't know, but they did a lot of damage.
huh.
There's trees coming into the neighborhood that are bigger than the tree in my front yard, which is huge, were snapped in half. There's
Yeah. Oof.
trees on the golf course uprooted and laying down, and half of the trees on the other side of the road. It broke it in
Oh,
half. Besides, knocked it over. I mean, it was that was
it
some
was
strong
scary.
shit, man. Yeah, that
So
was
who was home?
just Jake was here.
Oh my God, he was
Jenny
probably
was someplace. I don't know what she was doing. She had some type of practice or whatever she was, but she was in it too. But she didn't drive through it until after that had gone through. I happened to be the lucky one that got stuck in it, and
I think you win the weird news story.
I don't ever want to do that again.
Yeah,
that was because I had no place to go. I was like, shit. Now what do I do?
Well, and we were in Daytona, and I was like actually calling my mother-in-law. I was like, look, if we might need some people to go over to our house, you could have definitely come over here to stay. But I'm really glad that you guys are okay.
Just
That's
stayed
all
in
that
the
matters.
house. I mean, after it was done raining, what were we going to do? We didn't have power or nothing. I'm like, where are we going to go? I said, we're just going to go to sleep anyway. I said, whether there's power or not. So just in the morning, we're going to have to come up with a plan. She was already on the phone with State Farm that when it was happening, she was on the phone with State Farm. As the rain ended, she was on the phone with the tree people, asking them if they could come out because we have a tree actually through our roof.
Right.
Which they said bumps us to the front of the line because being that there's into the house and there's water they're going to take care of those people before they take care of anything else.
Right.
I shit you not. 8:01 a.m. I hear the trucks barreling down the road. There they are in my yard at 8 o'clock. They had like 6 guys. Less than an hour. You couldn't even tell there was a tree in my yard. They picked up they were on the roof pulling that fucking thing out. They had chainsaws. They cleaned up everything in my yard. I was like, holy shit. I thought I was going to be outside all day trying to clean that mess up. I didn't expect that. So affordable tree care, I can say nothing but good things about them. That was amazing. They were here and they were like Johnny on the spot. So
that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Well, we're just glad that you're okay.
Thank you. Me too. Trust me.
You win weird news of the day, though. I'll tell you.
Mother Nature. Don't mess with Mother Nature.
Yeah, right. Just think there's people out there chasing tornadoes. I'll chase ghosts. I mean, I've always wanted to chase tornado, but the older I get, the more I'm like, I'll just.
What's the worst that can happen if you chase a ghost?
I mean, chasing aliens, the worst thing that happened, I get phoned home. So, I mean, well, I was trying to keep this more family friendly, but I forgot about the Weiner.
It's too late. Once the Wieners came into play, that was over.
That ship has sailed. We just got to make sure that disclaimer on all of our episodes is there. That explicit language possible at any time.
Well, come on. We've dropped how many F-bombs on this episode alone?
Oh, that's true. I'll make sure I put an explicit warning for this one. But
oh boy.
Well, guys, thanks so much. We hope you listeners enjoyed our weird news. We hope that you feel very educated and up to date on all of the world's important news. And Rich, again, we're really glad that you guys are okay and nothing worse happened. So until next time, we will see you soon. We're getting down to the end of the season. I think we only have like 1 or 2 more weird weekly news episodes for this season. Then we got and I know, then we're going to cinch it up, but we got to get ready. We got to gear up because we have lots of evidence to go over this summer. We got lots of evidence reels to put out in the fall. And we have our Scaretober coming up that we have to plan for. And we have to get all of our ducks in a row for our fall season. So we're going to be busy. So
yeah, true.
So you guys just get caught up on everything else and we'll talk to you soon. See you later. Ciao.
Big balls.
Stay cheeky. You threw me off the big balls. I said stay cheeky. Remember, that was in Europe.
Hot sticky pudding.
Sticky pudding.